Hello and welcome back, everybody. Slim Slam and the Bandwagon Fan Week 12 review show. We're back at it again, and the boys are obviously having a good time. Fantastic. I love it when you guys do this shit. I'm Slim, he's Slam, and to my left, that is the Bandwagon Fan. It was always brought to you by the Jersey Cartel. Check him out on Facebook if you haven't already. Boys, how are we?
Great, Blaze. Another good week in the books there. Yep. Lots to look forward to tonight.
Absolutely. A couple of crackers. Schnazzy boy.
Oh, I'm over the moon. Got a few coaches we're going to tee off at this afternoon or tonight for the viewers out there. So it's going to be a pearler of an episode, I reckon.
I can't wait. I'm going to get absolutely stuck in. And we saw some good things in terms of Matt Patricia finally getting moved along.
Yeah, thank the heavens.
And some coaches' seats just got that little bit hotter over the weekend.
They also got rid of the GM, Bob Quinn.
They did,
Detroit.
yeah.
So they made the double move. Unheard of in Detroit. Don't normally do two things at once.
Clean house, exactly right. Hey,
the GM in Jacksonville got the sack as well.
Did he? Mm. Okay.
Jim Caldwell.
Caldwell, yeah.
Yep.
We are getting to that point in the season now where these, your records start to speak for themselves and those jobs can't be sustained. So, I don't know. I'm not going to miss
Dan
it.
Quinn was there after week 5.
Yeah, it happens quicker for some. Yeah, but that seems ages ago
Bill,
now.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, Bill.
Even Bill O'Brien. I still don't think he's a bad coach. I think it's been hard done.
No, I think apparently Detroit are going to hire him as the GM.
Oh, they've got
excellent
rocks in there.
That's
bloody.
a gag.
Okay, good.
But that's something Detroit would do.
I'll trade Stafford for a 7th round pick or something.
Schnazzy, with all that funny business out of the way, do you want to step us through some of the leading stories in NFL this week with good call, bad call?
Mate, I'd love to.
Yep. Good
and this first one's going to be right up your alley, I reckon.
Yeah.
So, John Fassel, a.k.a. Bones, a.k.a. Dallas' special teams coordinator, has possibly drawn up the worst fake punt ever.
It's a good call, and I love that they called him Bones. We looked it up before off air.
Right.
It's literally listed as, what's his first and last name? I only remember
It's
Bones.
like John Bones Fassel.
That's how he's listed.
I leave the room for 3 minutes, and this is what's happened.
It is gold. It's a good call, Stars. This is the worst play I've ever seen. Like, it is, in terms of, you're going to pull some special teams trickery. You're in a divisional matchup. It's Thanksgiving. You're getting your ass
You're in your
handed
own half.
You're getting your ass handed to you by the Washington football team. And you draw up, honestly, it is disgraceful. It's laughable how poor it is. Wilson has had his moments in terms of a little bit of trickery over the season so far. But he's pulled it down. He's at the line of scrimmage and he's run straight into a defender. And it's just like,
Also, the worst
just
part
how they
of,
drew it up.
the worst part of all of this is it wasn't the only one.
No, there's a second
It was
one.
two.
There's a second one lurking around. So I don't know. Bones might be on that hot seat we're talking about as well. So.
Bones and
Mike McCarthy rated it after the game as well.
Oh,
He said it was a sound call.
Yeah, well, McCarthy's obviously off his...
He's not well in the head.
He's just not...
He's not well in
He's
the head.
big on the analytics, Mike McCarthy, and the analytics might have said it was a good thing, but it doesn't mean it's a great thing.
No. If anyone with an eye for football, and you don't even need... Actually, that's wrong. You don't need an eye for football.
Nah.
You watch that play and you think, that's not how it was meant to go.
Not at all. And then you turn the ball over, give
Not
it back
quite
to
how they drew it
Washington
up.
in your own half.
Yeah.
Nah, no good.
Big old
good.
stamp of no thanks on the
Yep.
Dallas Cowboys on that game, mate.
So good call. One tick to me. Love it.
Absolutely.
The next one here, Slam. This is right up your alley, and before Slammer tells you, he did give this one to me.
Excellent. Love
So
that.
the top four teams in the AFC are better than the best team in the NFC. And to provide a little bit more background for the listeners out there, the top four teams that we have being the best in the AFC are the Chiefs, the Steelers, the Titans, and the Bills, with the best team in the NFC being the Saints. Slammer.
It's a great call there, mate. I'm wrapped with that one.
Yeah.
I think if you don't have to get too cute with this one, really. It's just, I think if you put any of those four teams up against the Saints, especially at the moment without Drew Brees, they're all going to beat the Saints.
Okay.
Like, the NFC is, like, for lack of a better word, it's a joke at the moment.
Yeah, it's not providing anything in terms of those real heavy hitter teams that probably in years gone by, this is a flip on the script. And I know we've said it previously, like the AFC for ages was a bit of a laughing stock. And, the Patriots were getting through, without having a bat and eyelid.
Yeah, it was just the Patriots and the Colts.
Yeah, and it's
then the
gone,
Broncos.
and it's completely flipped here to the point. Obviously, the Saints are without Drew Brees. Now, if Drew Brees is fit and healthy, I think you could probably make a case that they'd be going all right against the Titans and Bills. I think they'll still struggle against a defense like the Steelers and I'm not going to get into the Chiefs just now, but I think for the time being, I think it's a good call as well. I can't really see either of those four teams losing to the Saints head to head.
I think we might get into that a bit later as well with the Saints with Taysom Hill at quarterback.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not loving it.
No,
So I reckon that's a bit more to be
I just
discussed.
think the team that's going to come out of the AFC in the Super Bowl is just going to have played a lot better games and played a lot better teams by the time they get to the Super Bowl than whoever comes out of
the
the
teams
NFC
they
is.
play, they're going to be like well prepared.
Yeah.
You want to play and train against
Whereas
the best.
You look at the NFC, you can potentially play the Giants in the first round.
Yeah.
And
You'd be laughing.
And we'll get to that division later
Oh, yeah, it's our favourite.
because we love it.
How good was my game of the week?
Mate, your game of the week
Oh.
was huge.
It was
41 to 16.
massive.
Mate.
It was Antonio Gibson turned it on for me. He's a good man.
He did.
Yeah,
Young
he really
rookie.
did. Yeah.
Right,
Anyway, I'm not
turn
going
it
to
on.
blow my own horn too much. It's not my segment.
Very
I
good.
don't have a segment
good
anymore.
call.
But it is his show, remember, Schnauze?
Yes, your show.
His show.
Very good.
Third, good, cool, bad, cool. Bruce Arians needs to take a good look in the mirror. So why I bring this up? Because I saw a stat while I was watching
Yeah.
the game on the weekend. Or not the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Monday.
No,
Monday morning.
Sunday in America. Sorry, I get confused sometimes.
Yeah. We're jumping time zones.
We are. We're living in 2 dimensions over here. And some of us are living in 3.
Constant.
Skins.
Constantly.
So there's 5 quarterbacks, and 4 of them I'm going to name to you because you might know them.
Yep.
Tom Brady, Jameis Winston,
I've heard of him. Yep.
Andrew Luck, and Carson Palmer have all had career highs in turnovers or interceptions in their first season under Bruce Arians.
Yep.
To me, it just seems like the way he's trying to play this football team, especially with Tom Brady at the quarterback, he's one of the first coaches in the NFL to
Massive.
point the finger.
Yep.
He needs to take a look in the mirror. Good call, bad call.
100% good call. And I've flagged this previously. You know, Tom Brady's gone into a system that, you know, churned out 30 for 30 for Jameis, the most unwanted ESPN film of all time.
Yes. Would not watch.
Purely based, and you know, I said this at the start of the year, they've got all these weapons. It's all fantastic, and you can plug and play Tom Brady who you like. The only reason the Bucs started going all right on the weekend in the second half was Tom Brady seemed, to me anyway, and the coverage, I think they had Romo on there who was quite astute with it, when he said he could see a lot of the plays that Brady ran at the Patriots. And, you know, he started to throw to Gronk on those like seam routes, and
It was the only thing that was working.
it was the only thing that was working. And yeah, but these are things that we haven't seen from Tom all year. He's been throwing it downfield. He's getting picked religiously because he doesn't have the
11
arm
picks
strength.
on the season.
He doesn't have the arm strength anymore, and that's fine. That's okay. Adjust. And then don't come out and bake him afterwards. Like, what have you done, Bruce? Like far out.
Bruce Arians has been at enough teams to start having his reputation squashed.
Give me a spell.
Like, watching his games is entertaining,
Yeah.
and it's good from a fans. But you know, you're in a league to win Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Mate, this is a guy that came out and said, "Oh, we go as the quarterback goes." You've got
Yeah.
Tom Brady, bruz. Like, far out. I'm not having that.
I'm off.
And I
him.
don't even like Tom that much anymore.
No.
You know,
I don't think you ever have.
No, that's true. But you know, I'm going into bat for him there.
Slam, you got anything on that one?
I think Blaze has pretty much covered it all there, mate. But yeah.
Perfect. Last one. This one's a bit of a. This is probably not a good call, bad call. So I'm spinning off on the segment a bit. But
Right.
I'd like to give a shout out to Kendall Hinton.
Yeah.
Right.
And so for those of you who don't know, Kendall Hinton was the starting quarterback from the Broncos on the weekend because the Broncos' 4 quarterbacks on their roster were all COVID outs
Yep.
because of their COVID protocols.
And not meeting him. Yeah.
So this is an undrafted wide receiver who's part of the practice squad who gets no reps at wide receiver, let alone quarterback. And then during the week, they were giving their offensive quality control coordinator
Yeah.
all the reps in practice until the NFL denied it. So they had to call up this Kendall Hinton, who was transformed from a quarterback to a wide receiver at Wake Forest because his gameplay wasn't good enough to start in the NFL against the New Orleans Saints.
If you haven't heard of who Kendall Hinton is, you can be forgiven because when he rocked up on Sunday to play for the Broncos, half the team didn't know who this kid was.
Yeah.
The poor bastard got dropped. He was on the practice squad. He got delisted right before the start of the year. He's been brought back around the start of November. Flash forward 4 weeks. All of a sudden he's playing quarterback. Like, hello. No good.
No good.
No.
Hadn't thrown a touchdown, I believe, in like 3 years
No,
since his time at Wake Forest.
No.
Yeah. Massive props, though. Like,
Oh.
seriously, it's like
It's good.
your average Joe Blow from the street just walking onto an NFL field and going, I could probably do that.
And he had a dip.
I
I
could
think
probably
that's the
do
main
that.
thing. Like, he took a couple of big whacks.
hits.
Like, he was just, he's obviously a young kid. You know, congratulations to him. I don't know how much coin he made off that one outing.
You'd hope a lot.
Yeah, but, you know, I think the main point of that is if there was a good Aussie battler of the week, if that was a thing that we did here, that would be embodying that kind of vibe, I reckon.
And you know what? It's probably a 30 for 30 that I would watch.
Yeah, 100%.
Round that out.
Story of Kendall Hinton. Let's get it going. ESPN
good.
Productions. Give us
But no, in all
give us a
seriousness,
buzz.
Shout out to him.
Yep.
You obviously didn't play too well, but that's not. You were never going to play
You
a
weren't
great
expected
game. But
to.
you went out there and you tried your best. You gave it your all. And
Yep.
Congratulations, young fella.
Absolutely. I like that. that will do us for the good call, bad call, Schnazi.
Yes, that will do us.
Another good one in the books, my friend. Quickly touching on the tips here. Schnazi has stretched his lead here to 123 with a strong 11 this weekend. Slammer with the 10 is now at 117. I've slipped back to my previously scheduled programming. I only grabbed 9, so I'm 107, a full 16 behind the Schnazzle. But hey, we've still got a couple of weeks left.
We do.
Yeah, so we'll just see how much further that...
Mate, you're only 10 behind
5
Slammer.
weeks.
You can catch him.
I got him. I've got him. I'm coming down that straight like Winks.
I offered you $1,000 on it last week.
Yeah, I know.
He's getting scared. He
You said no.
You
I
bump
had to
it.
do leg day at the gym the other day.
You bump it to 2 and I'll give you $30 if I win. If I lose.
So I bet 2K.
Yeah.
I get $30 back.
Yeah.
That's the worst odds of all
I'm
time.
absorbing all the risk.
No deal.
Okay, fair enough. Your loss.
You're absorbing the risk. Work that one out, sports fans.
The Lions and Texans. Let's get going with the games, boys.
And let's not spend long here.
no, we're gonna-
These teams aren't playing.
You're going to see a bit of a theme here. These teams that are now falling out of playoff contention or relevancy, they probably should have gone a little while ago, but we're going to make our way into that kind of format here. So Detroit Lions, they've got rid of the coach, they got rid of the GM. This franchise continues to be a disappointment, probably to anyone that's even related to anyone that plays for them. The Houston Texans here come away 41-25 victors.
They did. They
Yeah.
played well.
Yep.
They did.
They've played a lot better since they've got rid of our mate Bill.
Yep.
But to be honest, their strength of schedule has eased up remarkably. They arguably had 4 of the hardest teams at the start of the year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's why I was a bit down on Bill.
Yep.
You know, thought he was a bit hard done by. Now it looks like they're going to give Romeo Crennel the head coaching job, and that's not something I'd be doing personally.
No.
But I think the thing to watch with the Texans here is Slammer and I were talking about this a bit last week when we were talking about the road to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So the Texans have the Colts twice in the back end of the season.
Okay.
And I'm sitting here right now not believing that the Colts could win both of those games comfortably after their performance on the weekend.
Yeah.
Which
Bit up
could
and
then
down,
knock
yeah.
them out of a wild card spot. So the Texans, although won't be making the playoffs, will be causing teams a few concerns and a few sleepless nights.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Schnaz. I think they're not a good team, and they're definitely not going to be making the playoffs this year. But with Deshaun at quarterback, arguably the
chance.
second best quarterback in the AFC,
Yeah.
they are a sneaky and they're an upset chance, and probably 90% of the games they're going to play in.
He's had an unbelievable month. His numbers stack up. I mean, obviously, Mahomes is on another planet at the moment,
Yeah.
but Deshaun is a fantastic quarterback, and he's doing it without the help that Mahomes gets in terms of the weapons. And they've just lost Will Fuller today
Gets
as well.
harder because Will Fuller's gone, and
Yeah.
he was 11th in receiving yards
Yeah.
on the season.
He
with
was
about
having a good year.
880 yards,
Yeah.
and
I
he's
think he
gone.
had about 170 on the weekend.
Yeah.
So
So I don't know.
gets tougher, but
Look into that what you will when he's getting ruled out because of performance enhancing.
yeah, and then they're cutting
Oversights.
Kenny Stills on
Yeah,
the
so
weekend as well.
they
Anyways,
it's going to be tough going for them. Into another game here in my favourite division in football, and it's quickly becoming a lot of people's favourite just because of its sheer mediocrity and hilarity that
It's a
ensues.
laugh, yeah.
It is a laugh. The Cowboys and the Washington football team. This is maybe not an upset, but I think we all took the Cowboys and
Yeah.
we didn't expect Washington to win it. As certainly not as comfortable as they were in the end. 41-16
No.
victors here on the back of Antonio Gibson having a party.
Oh, absolute massive day there, Blaze. 20 carries, 115 yards, and 3 scores.
Yep, loving it.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd be
Yeah.
loving that.
Young
if
man.
If you're a football team fan,
Yeah.
and that specific football team fan, in fact,
Yes.
you'd be having a great time. Montez Sweat with a pick 6, INT
Yeah,
as
that was
well, around
nice.
the 20-yard
Yeah.
line.
Yep.
And that's really all you need to know about that game, I would have thought.
They rolled all over him. Andy Dalton kind of didn't do much. Zeke
Nah.
was poor.
Yeah, Zeke
That-
has been poor pretty
their
much. all year.
defense. So what was it? Washington football team. I
Yeah.
think they're like 6th-rated defense on the
Yeah.
season. They are playing unbelievably well. So they shut down the receivers and made them run the ball, and Zeke couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
Where on the flip side, I think you called it out before, Gibson, he was, a 3rd-round pick
Yep.
in this year's
Yeah,
draft.
late third, I think he was.
And he looked unbelievable.
Yeah.
The first game I've seen Washington, full game. I've seen
Cowboys
play
D
all
will
year.
do that to you, though.
yeah.
They will.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's-
Cowboys
this is
D will
true.
make you look good.
But we have
still-
said in previous episodes about that the rookie class of running backs, there hasn't been a particular breakout. Like
No.
Clyde's been pretty good. Dobbins is in and out. JT in Indianapolis
Swift's
is in and
done
out.
nothing.
Yeah.
Swift's done absolutely nothing, but that's probably virtue of the fact that he's in a nothing franchise.
Yeah, Detroit. all that,
So,
yeah.
it's funny when you say it out loud, but like Gibson's game there, that's the only one I can think off the top of my head that's been like a marquee kind of really impressive game.
Yeah,
from a
yeah.
running back.
Clyde's opening game of the year.
Yeah,
was
true.
Elite, but that was once again because it was
Yeah,
against
2
the Texans.
touchdowns in
Yeah.
week 11 as well, Clyde.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Gibson's up to, don't get it wrong, Blaze, but I think 11 tubs on the year.
Oh, that's not bad.
So
it sounds what I would have guessed.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard. So if that is true,
So it's just unsubstantiated facts from the two of them.
Yeah,
So
but
just one of them.
if it comes out to
I
be
think
correct,
it was
that's a massive
It
year.
was a touchdown a game.
Yeah.
Was what they were showing on the cast.
Yeah,
so.
Okay.
yeah, something like that. So good luck to him. That's probably the highlight for them. That D line for Washington stood up, obviously stuffing Zeke and putting pressure on Dalton.
Now,
So
we said we wouldn't spend much time on irrelevant games and
Yeah.
teams, but this is relevant
yeah.
because Washington and New York Giants, one of them's going to make the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm getting rid of the Cowboys now. I'm getting
Yeah.
rid of the Eagles right now.
Yeah, they're deplorable.
You last week you said the Cowboys were in. They were home.
Yeah. A week in football is a long time,
They're
Slammer.
only a game out, mate. It's the worst division in football.
It is, but did you see what they put up on the weekend?
I did.
I
Yeah.
got no. Yeah, it's
It
hard
wasn't
to put
even the
any
weekend,
faith.
it was
in-
Thursday,
Still,
Friday.
somebody only might need one more win or two more wins to win this whole division.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
No one's out of it yet.
No, we love the NFC East here in the booth.
No, we don't.
The gift that keeps on giving.
It is. It really, really is. Hey, the Steelers and Ravens game still yet
It's
to
like
be
a magazine
played.
subscription. You didn't ask for it, but you get it. So every week it just rocks up and you're like, cheers.
Well, the old new idea rocks
Yeah.
over is let's see what Meghan Markle's doing or the Prince Meghan or whatever.
Prince
What's his
Megan.
name?
Somebody get it back on track, please.
It's just-
Please.
the Steelers and Ravens haven't played yet, so
Yeah.
apologies. We don't have anything to say on that one just yet.
The only thing to say on that game is, as at right now, there's
Yeah.
14 Ravens that are on
Yeah.
the COVID list, which includes Willie Snead, Mark Andrews, and Lamar Jackson. So hard to see them winning that game when it finally does
Absolutely
get played.
decimated. So as it stands, it's meant to get played tomorrow morning, our time.
No,
No.
Wednesday, America,
Thursday morning, our
Thursday.
time.
Oh, really? So it's
Yeah.
been pushed
Pushed
again.
it down.
Pushed
Okay,
again this
right.
morning.
Yep. So, God help us. I think that's probably going to end up on the back burner and end up being a catch up or something like that, don't you reckon?
Yeah, they've said they'll only push the season back 1 week at an absolute maximum. But if that, I don't even reckon. I reckon they'll just play it.
Yeah.
Stuff them.
They'll play it. If they
Yeah.
played the Broncos game, they're going to play
Oh,
this.
exactly. I think there's money involved in why that happened, I think.
Either that or they'll just forfeit it, I reckon. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Remains to be seen. Hey, the Jets and Dolphins, the only thing to note here is the Jets still suck, which is fantastic.
that is true.
And the Dolphins defense smothered them, made Darnold look pretty subpar, and they
Yeah.
put up 20 points on the back of Fitzpatrick. I'm not going to call him magic or tragic
No.
or anything like that. He's
No,
just
don't
run of
do
the mill Ryan at the moment.
Run of the mill Ryan.
Yeah, you like that?
I don't mind that.
Yeah. Mike
the mill
Gesicki
Ryan.
got a touchdown. They got the job done
did.
here,
You know,
20-3.
One of the things that what I've noticed with the Jets, and what I think they even came out and said this, they're linking Adam Gase's career to Sam Darnold's career,
Yes,
which is
yeah.
not a good thing if you're Sam Darnold.
No, it sucks.
And also
No.
not a good thing if you're Adam Gase. Because I called this earlier in the year, and I'm still going to pat myself on the back for this. The
Yep.
Jets should have traded Sam Darnold earlier in the season while he had some value.
Why their currency? Yeah.
I know he's been injured. I know he's missed a few games, but I haven't seen him do anything this year.
His value would be
consistently.
through the toilet. Yeah.
He's had
Yeah.
some good plays, and there's been a few times where he's made some really good plays. You're like, oh, that's what we expect.
Yeah.
I still think he potentially has merit and could be a good player, but I think the Jets they've shot themselves in the foot on getting anything in return for that.
They have.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. What's going to end up happening with that will be so, perfectly New York Jets will be they'll have to trade him away. They'll get absolutely dick all for
Yeah.
him, and then he'll go somewhere and be a starting
Be much
quarterback
better.
and probably light it up.
Yeah.
Just like Robbie
See,
Anderson's
like, how
gone
good
and
would
done,
Pittsburgh,
just like everyone that's
how
left has
smart
gone
would
and done.
Pittsburgh be if they could get him for like a third or a fourth?
Yeah.
Well, no, you
For
know who should
nothing,
go for
and
him?
then he can be,
Washington.
Like- yeah,
Yeah, it
well,
would be a good
yeah.
fit in Washington.
Because I reckon Alex Smith's got that job sewn up for next year.
Yeah.
And I reckon you put him in there a year under Alex Smith, develop him, not break his confidence. Because that's a team that's building too.
And the last guy that had a year under Alex Smith turned out to be pretty good.
Really bloody good.
Really good.
Like super.
You're talking about
Well
Dwayne Haskins here?
good. No.
No, we are
Not
not.
Before
Xavier Howard had another pick.
he did.
Another pick. He's had 19 since 2017.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely
insane.
fine. That
He's done about
defense-
7 or 8 on the year.
He's one of my favourites, to be honest, on the defensive side of the ball.
He might be the defensive player of the year.
He could be in that conversation.
Could be him and Donald.
Him and
Yeah.
Donald.
TJ Watt.
Yeah.
One player I'd like to give a bit of props to from the Jets, who might be the only player with any talent on their team, is Quinnen Williams.
Bless you.
Yeah.
So he was the third pick in the draft of the 2019 drafts. This is his second year in the league. On the weekend, he had 7 tackles, 1.5 sacks. One of the tackles was for loss, 2 deflections, and 3 quarterback hits.
Yeah.
From a defense and a team that doesn't give much, he's a big boy that...
That's blessed me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does bless himself, and he also baptizes quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So,
No, and then
good on you, mate.
those kind of characters and players, you've ended up in a really dire situation, and it would be hard, I imagine, to motivate yourself and get up for those kind of games.
Especially coming from Alabama. Like,
Yeah, it's a
Alabama.
fair contrast.
he's
So,
gone from winning every game to not being able to buy a win.
Yeah, at least he's having a bloody dip.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
having a crack. That's good. Good on him. The Pats and Cardinals here, another disappointing one from Arizona, and a team that's increasingly becoming probably one of our most frustrating
They are
teams.
so frustrating.
word.
Blokes.
Yeah, they
There's
went
no
down-
more frustrating team in the NFL, I would have thought.
They went down here 20-17. Chucky, your thoughts on this one, my friend?
Oh, it's painful, Blaze. Painful.
Yeah.
Obviously, the guarantee got up this week, which we're all wrapped about.
Yes, this is true.
But I had another multi on, and that was the only leg that went down.
Yeah.
Furious. Furious. Like,
Against a team
they're
where...
so much better than New England. They miss a field goal with a minute to go, and then give the ball over at their own 45-yard line, and then New England just have to go down and kick a chip shot.
That hit,
Like,
was it Isaiah Simmons?
yeah, late hit on...
No, it was a head
Cam.
hit.
Head
helmet,
hit
helmet.
out of
Yeah,
bounds,
yeah. An extra 15 yards just guarantees the Pats are winning field goal.
Yeah,
They're so frustrating.
that's a young team that needs to figure it
Do you know
out.
why they lost? It's the first game in the last 94 games that Larry Fitz has missed.
Yeah, it hasn't started.
Hasn't
Oh,
started.
is that right?
His streak
Yeah,
was broken by
Yeah,
COVID.
he missed
Yeah.
to COVID.
2021.
And that's the most painful thing going on, I reckon.
I don't reckon if he
Yeah,
plays, they
that
probably win
hurts.
that game.
Probably.
They honestly probably
They're
would.
much more dynamic on offense if they got them both.
Have you got the numbers of Cam Newton on the day in front of you there?
Cam Newton
Chuck?
on the day, Blaze. I've just currently got the Arizona stats up, but I can
Okay.
tell you. He had 84 yards
That's what I
through the
thought.
air on 9 of 18 passing, so 50%
And
completion
the
there.
nerve of ESPN to say
He
that...
actually had 46 yards rushing, so almost more than his passing yards.
Yeah. The nerve for them to come out and say that Cam and the Patriots got the job done. He's not doing... This is the biggest, you know...
It was James White and the Patriots
This
on the weekend.
is smoke and mirrors stuff, and I understand Cam was fantastic, and
He's a former MVP, so he's got credit.
He's got credit, but you cannot be attributing anything of what's going on. These wins are on the back of pretty much everything else outside of Cam's quarterback play.
James White had 2 touchdowns and...
Yeah, 2 touchdowns on 18 yards on 5 carries.
Yeah.
So he was really just putting it at the goal line. Damian Harris did most of the rushing there with 14 carries for 47 yards. They're not good, though, but they have won 3 of the last 4.
Yeah.
But, like... That was probably the battle of the 2 most up and down teams on the whole year. You can't
You wouldn't have a
know
clue.
what's coming.
They're going to end up at about a 500 team, the Pats. And I reckon if you were the
I
Pats...
think I
at the
reckon they'll
start of the
probably
year,
end
you
up
would've taken
7 and
that.
9.
I
I
think
reckon
you would
7
take-
and 9. Yeah.
I think you would have taken that.
I think they would have.
The Vikings and Panthers, it was Kirk Cousins doing the work here. Dalvin Cook was a bit quiet. Yes, your mate Schnazi. I'm going to let you take this one. 28-27. They got over the line late. There's
In a miracle.
There was a few interesting theatrics towards the
Is
end
it
there.
Chad?
Yeah,
Chad Beebe?
Chad Beebe.
Chad?
Yep,
Chad.
we love Chad Beebe.
We love the Chad.
So like I said, 28-27, they got the job done. The Panthers did miss a field goal that would have won it for him at the end there. It pulled it heavily. So, takeaway, Schnazzle?
Key takeaway from me here is that Dalvin Cook didn't have a great game.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Adam Thielen. So bring in Justin Jefferson, your mate.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal.
Very, very hot on him.
Kirk actually played remarkably well.
He did.
He spread the ball around. There's was it 5 receivers that he was...
4.
Four?
Four that had 7 receptions.
4 had 7 receptions, so he was spreading the ball around. Jefferson
Yeah,
was the
4.
main man doing that. And then why we were talking about the Chad before is, if you didn't see the game...
Chad.
The Chad dropped a punt, muffed a punt, so he's dropped it. He's dropped it right in like the 10-yard line for the Panthers.
Panthers.
They've kicked the field goal,
Correct.
and then he's caught the winning touchdown.
Yeah, it was
so
fantastic.
It's come full circle.
We always talk about sports narratives. That is a story you get immediate redemption.
He's gone from sacked in the morning to front of the paper.
Absolutely,
Yeah, absolutely.
genuinely.
Not for being sacked.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, it was really good. He's a young man. Obviously, he's trying to chip away at it in the absence of Thielen. There, get an increased role. But all 3 of them in terms of Jefferson, BC Johnson, and obviously the Chad, had really good days. And like we said, the 4 receivers that had 7 receptions each, really just spreading the love.
Just
Kirk
a seriously bizarre game of football there, Blaz.
yeah, we're trying.
Jeremy Chin there for the Panthers on defense had 2 fumble recoveries,
Yeah,
run back for touchdowns on 2 consecutive plays.
you
Never
could-
been done before in the history of the NFL.
You could call this game the Chad Chin game. Chad and the Chin.
Chad Chin Chin Baby.
I'd rather not.
Okay. Well, I just think it'd be a good Disney movie.
Terrible. You need to stop.
If Slammer's
The
not
most
buying
important,
it,
the biggest part about this though, Blaze, this actually moves the Vikings to 5 and
Yes,
6, and only
yeah.
1 game outside of the Cardinals. And as we've just said, the Cardinals are so hot and cold.
Yeah.
If the Vikings can get on a small little run here, they're
They
in
had a
with a
bad
sneaky
loss last
chance.
week too.
They did.
The Vikings.
Yeah.
Who-
they did
yeah,
really
who, that,
flat.
I was trying to think of that just then.
Huge loss. And then
Someone
also
they
lost
should
to
have
the
beaten
Seahawks by
last
1
week as
possession.
well.
Yeah.
They should have won the
Ridiculous.
game last week.
Yeah, so they'd be
But
frustrating.
they're in the hunt.
they've had so many close ones already. You know, that can come back to sting you when it counts at the end of the year if you want to keep playing football.
The thing is here, you look at the Vikings, their best football is good enough in the NFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. it is.
And they're chasing down the most frustrating team in football, and they could quite easily catch that team because they're so
And, mate,
inconsistent.
you've got a guy called Chef Cook, and boy, he just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah.
And so if you're getting results without him, like, getting out the blocks and letting Kirk do it, then happy days. Let keep the Vikings rolling. The Jaguars and Browns. The Browns did what they had to do here. It was
Ugly
Did
game
they?
of football.
It was closer than way closer than it should have been. The rushing game got it done for the Browns in the end, as we've kind of stated before.
Chubb did it, yeah.
Chubb got it done, and that's going to be the way forward. But however, 27-25, a bit close.
The key thing I've taken away from the Browns' last few games is over the last 5 games, Baker's only had 1 interception.
Yeah.
So he's really worked on that ball control and just making the game plan work, which is obviously
he just needs to be a game manager. That's it. We've said it all year. That's all he has to do.
Doing a great job of that at the moment. And I think he's a player who's also quite inspirational and a bit of a leader. They all seem to like him. They all seem to follow him and play for him.
I can't understand it, but that's fair enough.
I imagine
Neither can I,
that
but-
kind of attitude and persona, I think that would be fine when he's on your team. I think
it's fine when the record's 8-3, Blaze.
Yeah, okay.
If it's 3-8, like it has been in the last couple of years, then I don't think it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, no, because
Then you
the
gotta
flip
shut
side
up.
of that is the Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's a great leader, says all the right things from all reports, but then he goes out there and
Yeah, but Trubisky doesn't do cockhead things that Mayfield does.
he's calmed down a lot, though.
Yeah.
He's calmed down a lot.
I don't know. I'm not buying
You're
it.
gonna
I'm
take
really
that-
not sold on Cleveland. I'm just not.
You're going to take that big bag of salt off?
I
anytime
just
soon, or-
don't think I just don't have any faith in them being able to do anything against any of those other top 7 AFC teams.
Yeah, okay.
I don't
I really
either.
don't.
No.
I think they're going to go They're going to go into the playoffs, the whole bunch of steam because they've played some crap teams, and then they're going to get bounced in week 1.
Okay. I mean, that's your prerogative.
Chubb, though, I will say this: Chubb's a freak,
Yeah.
and Kareem, when Chubb's there, is a hell of a lot better player.
Yeah.
Like Chubb had 144 on 19 carries. So that's 7.6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Kareem had 62 on 10, so that's 6.2 yards a carry.
It's beastly, isn't it?
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. It says a lot. I think, the interception rate for Baker dropping off is probably conducive to getting Chubb back as well. There's obviously a tie.
Oh, he's their most important player, no doubt.
I'm just still looking at this, and I do agree with Slammer slightly.
Yeah.
But I don't see the Browns and the Titans being remarkably different, except that Tannehill's a little bit better of a quarterback. But in my opinion, the Browns have a better defense
Yeah.
than the Titans.
Titans have got better wide receivers.
Yeah, they do, but they rely on Derrick Henry. It's not too dissimilar in the game plans. I don't think they're going to be.
No,
I don't think
the
they're gonna
game
be-
plans are the same. I'll give you that.
I don't think they're going to be as as much of a walkover as you expect. They've got a few good defensive players. They're having a pretty good season. They're riding on confidence, which does a lot in the NFL because there's a lot of players out there without confidence, namely Carson Wentz.
All right, well, out of those top 6 other AFC teams, which ones do you think the Browns could actually beat? I'm going to say that only the Colts.
I could say they could beat the Bills because the Bills aren't consistently playing good games. They only just go over the line against the Chargers.
Yep.
They could potentially beat the Titans
Yep.
if Derrick Henry's not having a good rushing day. I would say they could beat the Colts, and I could say it'd be a very good game against the Dolphins.
Yep.
I only think they could beat the Colts.
Okay. Well, this is all hypothetical. We can't really do much with that. But
No, I know. I'm just saying. They're the
just
only
watch the
team I reckon
season
that
and see how it
they-
goes.
Yeah. It's a question that can't be answered for 6 weeks, but I reckon that's the only team they could beat.
Okay. Well, that remains to be seen, of course.
And they're going to have. And the other thing is they're going to have to go on the road.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to have a home playoff game. So I reckon they're screwed.
Yeah, you take the running game on the road.
I think the Browns fans, they'll be taking this because it's the first time they've been 8-3 since like 1994.
It's the
or
first
something.
time they're going to have a winning season since 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's massive.
I mean, they'll
for
be
them.
wrapped.
Yeah.
No doubt. They'll be absolutely wrapped just to go to the postseason if they can get there.
Yeah.
But I just at the moment I can't see it going anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
No worries.
The Colts and the Titans. A couple of teams we just mentioned. What was that? The Colts and the Titans were a couple of teams we just mentioned in passing there. They played on the weekend. 45-26 was the end score there to the Titans. The reverse fixture, obviously, the Colts got the job done, so they split the season series there. Playoff connotations there. Both away wins, indeed. Derrick Henry here got the job done in the first half, especially. Just kind of smashed.
Ballistic blows.
Over at halftime.
Yeah. Just smashing the
Absolutely
pieces.
ballistic. I think he had about 140 at the half. Ended
Yeah.
with 178 for the game.
Yeah.
140 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns at halftime. Absolutely ridiculous.
So that's going to kill you. And the Colts, a team that we've talked up. The NFL talks up. You
Every
know,
week we've put them in the Elite Eight, they've lost.
yeah, they have, and lost convincingly.
But we said this last week as well.
Yeah.
We said there's something about them that isn't sexy, and then we went on to say sexy way too much.
yeah.
But
We're not doing that again.
no,
Why
but
not?
it's that thing. Like there is just something you can't buy in about the Colts.
Yeah.
and it does stem back, I reckon, to that week 1 game against the Jags. But yeah, there's just something there you're not buying.
Yeah, 100%. On the topic of sexy, I'm prepared to say sexy many times when we get to the Chiefs.
Yeah, me too.
What, Tyreek Hill and the
Oh,
Yeah.
sexy.
Yeah, sexy. Kelsey, sexy.
Yeah. Oh, Travis. Got Travis on tonight, actually.
Patrick, sexy.
Bengals and Giants played a game here, and the Giants go top of the division.
What an awful game this was, though,
So
Blaze.
this was a truly deplorable
Calamity
game
of
football.
errors.
But the point is the Giants win. They go top of the division.
At
And
4-7.
I love it. 19-17 here over Joe Burrowless Bengals.
I was trying to call it earlier in the season. I said they're a top 8 offense and they're going to be the best team in the division. Didn't get much traction from anyone. But here we are now.
You probably
also
went
had the-
about it in a roundabout kind of way. but
You also had the Cowboys going 12-4.
Yeah.
So your NFC East stuff was just
Oh, I didn't realize that Dak was going to break his whole life.
Like if they still had Saquon, they'd be killing this division.
Yeah,
right now.
they would be.
They would be killing them.
Yeah.
100%.
You can't predict injuries, my friend.
You
No, you
can't.
cannot.
You're so right there.
You cannot. And that would be...
Bandwagon fan.
in some respects, they're going to play...
Holy crap! Colt McCoy had throws in this game.
Yeah, Danny Dimes did his
What
hamstring.
the hell?
Yeah, he popped his hammy.
Colt McCoy's still in the league.
Yeah.
Who knew?
He'll be so playing as well next week.
Good God.
Yeah, I love it.
Because Danny
Oh.
Dimes, I think it was in the third or fourth quarter. Early fourth, late third.
How's this though, Schnaz?
Hamstring.
The NFC East now, every team in the NFC East has a
Quarterback injury.
no second string quarterback
Mm.
Yes.
under center.
I do like that.
Andy Dalton.
Yep.
Alex Smith.
Yep. Well, Carson's still
Colt
on.
McCoy. Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. You are clowning. Jalen Hurts did take us a few snaps today.
He did. I don't
We'll get to that.
think Carson's long for this world, to be honest.
Now,
Jeez.
Well, the NFL world.
Blazer's putting a hit out.
if you're going to give me shade about the Giants and my Cowboys prediction, how about you and the Dak and the Carton Wentz just not wanting a
Carton
bar
Wentz.
of it?
The Carton Wentz.
No, Carton Wentz. He's lost his name. He's a milk carton.
Right.
Have you seen him? They get a milk carton. They got a picture of Carton Wentz on the back going, have you seen this man? Missing since 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that call sucked from me. I will say that.
Yeah.
He's done nothing to help me.
No,
What the
nothing
hell,
at all.
mate?
Nothing
Like,
at all.
It doesn't make sense. He shouldn't be this bad.
It's just
It's
it's.
so much promise.
We're gonna hold. I want to hold.
We haven't got
Okay,
to that
I wanna
game yet.
hold.
Yeah,
hold. It's the last game of the round.
But his regression is ridiculous.
Let's just go straight into Bills Chargers.
Bills and Chargers, 27-17. The Bills.
Hang on, Blaze. Stop right there. Because it's time to talk about Slammer's Guarantee.
Okay, no worries, champ.
Now you can see why I wanted to get there.
Yes.
So, we missed it on Miami, and I thought I'd just patiently wait.
And we also missed it on Cleveland.
Yeah, I know. I'd forgotten again. So, better late than never. So, this week we're back on the winners list, which is fantastic because
Yeah.
last week was just a debacle.
It was.
So, four-legger here. Miami, they got the job done. Cleveland, they went and got the job done. Buffalo got the job done against the Chargers. And then Green Bay beat the crap out of the Bears on Sunday night. So that was all good.
Yep.
So if you put $50 on that, Blaze,
Yeah.
you got $166.40 back like I did.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then you take 150 out and you put the next $16 on a random dog at Dapco.
How'd you get on?
Dapco or Dapto?
Don't know, actually at Dapto, but I actually forgot to look at it. I did it
Oh,
today at lunch, and now I'm thinking, jeez, I could be waiting on a fortune.
Oh, look out. Don't let me keep you. Better go check it.
Dapto
Take your bag of
dogs.
salt and go check.
Actually, probably better not because it's your phone filming the bloody show. So
I
you
know.
don't want to start rolling around like
And we'll be right back after a brief intermission.
that. It's just like cue the actual screaming of delight and all the rest of it. Off topic.
But no, this game.
Yes,
the
this
Bills
game.
and the Chargers.
I've got
So-
something to say here, Schnazzy. Sorry, before you go.
Okay.
Over to you.
Anthony Lynn,
Yes.
is this what you were going to
Yes.
Yes.
I have zero time for him at this point. His seat is probably not as hot as it should be, really, in my opinion.
Mate, he's sitting in a bloody kiln.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's in a kiln.
I feel like he's just dodging all of this talk because of the loss of Derwin James. You're just getting away with everything
Yeah.
at the moment.
It's excuse after excuse after excuse
I know.
after
But
excuse.
and the
you
other
know what
thing
else
is,
is
they're
getting
such
him?
a small minnow little franchise that's got no fans.
Yeah, they don't
There's
have
not
their own
many-
stadium. I
Yeah.
told you this. The point I'm getting at here as well is Herbert's glazing, putting a lot of glaze
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
over all of this.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
going, they're going to be so much better when Herbert.
Because he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
You're not going to fire the coach that had Rookie of the Year, are you?
No. Well, yeah, but then you look beneath the maple syrup that is Justin Herbert on the top right
The
now.
maple syrup.
Yeah, and you look
Christ.
underneath it and you see this.
You don't want to go with the cherry on top.
No, you see this absolutely rotting bagel that is like 5 straight games of 17+ point leads you've coughed
You're
up.
putting maple syrup.
Maple syrup on a bagel.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's the part I'm the most
I'm
confused
sure it's
about.
I'm sure it's happened somewhere along the
sure it's
line.
happened.
I'm going to do it just to prove a point.
Oh, that's so tough.
What I'm saying is that the last play of the game here. This is an audible into a quarterback sneak. So God knows why you're not running a quarterback sneak anyway when he's 6'6" and mobile and you're at the 1 yard line or the 2 yard line or whatever the fuck it was. Excuse me.
Oh, he's gone.
Sorry, I haven't done that in a while. So Justin, being the young man, has to audible into a quarterback sneak. The offensive line then drops back into pass protection, and every single one of the bloody who did they play again? Forget off the top of my head. The Bills D line just swallows him, and it's over. And it's like, what the hell was that?
I did a double take. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. I mean, this Chargers team, they've got talent.
Yeah.
They have some really good players.
Yeah.
And I think I gave you the stats.
We say
last
this every
as well.
week.
Yeah.
Under their offense last year was a top 10 rated offense with Phillip Rivers, and they still lost all of those games.
Yep.
And they've been in all of those games.
Yep.
Same things happened this year.
Massively.
They've lost like 5 games where they've been up by at least 14 points.
Yeah.
They didn't even look too bad against the Bills. If
Yeah.
you watch the Chargers play 3 quarters, you go, geez, they're like a genuine
An alright
chance of being in
team.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Their fourth quarters are becoming legitimately worse than Atlanta's.
Yeah, well, after the weekend's performance from the Falcons,
And that's why I reckon he's in the kiln. Anthony Lynn. I'm telling you.
We're still doing this kiln thing.
he has to be.
He
I
is.
said this to Sam before you got here tonight, and obviously this has been a running topic for a little while now. He seems to be getting away with it, and all these reasons we've mentioned, Herbert, and then there's no real interest in the Chargers, and it's all fun and games. But at what point do you put a bit of pride in your franchise and say, this guy's just, there's something about it that's just not working out? And I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he knows what he's talking about. But every now and then you lose the players, you lose the group, and it doesn't seem like, there's no grit in that team at the moment. There's no want to win.
No. I think it hurts. I think it makes it harder that there's not a fan base behind it that's massive that's calling for players' heads and stuff. So there's maybe not the urgency behind it. I don't know. It's just bizarre, isn't it?
Well, you got Joey Bosa on that team.
We say this every week. There are stars on almost every line of that entire team.
Keenan Allen's probably a top 5.
Keenan Allen, Mike
top 10,
Williams,
top 5.
Eckler was back on the weekend too.
Eckler was back.
Bosa,
Ingram.
Ingram.
Hunter Henry, the list goes on and on and on.
And they've got the Rookie of the Year.
It's such a decent roster.
And Derwin James, who's obviously not there at the moment.
And if you can't get the roster to perform, as a complete layman looking in, I would suggest that there is something to do with the coaching and the motivation of the players. Would you not?
Yeah, there's
I feel like
something,
that
there's
stands
something
up.
wrong.
I feel
There's
like
something
that
wrong.
He's
argument
got to go.
Yeah.
Something
It's
wrong.
got to go. But one thing I like to point out in this game is that the Bills, there was a sequence there. It was like turnover.
The ball security with Josh Allen.
Oh my God. And that was what we talked about this
We
at the start
did.
of the year. We
We
said if
did.
the Bills are going to be a good team, although their record's 8-3, let's forget their record. The ball control at the start of Josh Allen's year and the yards that he was putting up, he was in
was
MVP
tight.
talk.
Yeah, it was tight.
Yeah.
That talk has died off considerably because he's fumbling the ball.
Yeah.
He's been watching Danny in New York. He's not protecting the ball like he used to be. And he's been bailed out by his defense,
Yeah, he is.
who have started to find their form of late last year.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the Bills, although we've got them as one of the top 4 best teams in the AFC, they need to switch on.
Yeah, 100%. They can't coast through on what they've got already.
They cannot.
Well, they're only a game in front of Miami.
Yeah.
So if they don't flick the switch, they're in danger of not even winning the division.
I imagine
up.
They are catching up.
Catching up. I imagine those two teams will play before the
They
end of the
will.
year
I
as
think
well.
it actually might be the last game
I
of
don't
the
think
year.
they've got their 2 divisional matchups out of the way yet. Hey, the Falcons, and this would be the upset of the week, I would have thought.
Just bizarre, this one, blows.
Not just because the Falcons got the win, but the way they did it. 43-6 was the score. Heaps and heaps of field goals.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was not good.
But really, the Raiders just beat themselves here, Blaze.
They did.
Turnover after turnover after turnover. It was just an absolute joke.
Yep.
We'll say this about the Falcons, though. I think their players have responded really well to the interim coach.
I think so too.
Surely he's got to be a chance of getting this job.
Well, it's hard to say. You don't like the interim coach idea, do you?
No, the interim coach, you always get a bit of a response
Yeah.
out of your players.
This is like 6 games now, though.
Yeah, no, but they did the same thing in the back half of last season too. There's too many similarities. There's too much happening that's just a bit spooky, and it's just like, I don't know. And you just end up with bad coaches who get it because they had a good caretaker period. We've seen it all before. We've seen it blow up the next year.
Freddie Kitchens.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's happened
Exactly. Yeah.
all the time, and it's just, I don't think the Falcons were that bad of a team.
No, they
just-
shouldn't be.
they
That's what I'm
just
saying.
went-
I think they'd quit on the old coach.
Yeah, they did. And what's the bet? Like, if things go wrong again pretty quickly in the back half of this season, they just quit again.
Yeah.
And everything goes out the window. It sort of seems like a systemic issue within that franchise that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
And you need a strong, powerful coach to come in to help.
That's the only
build
way
that.
to do it, correct.
You don't need an interim coach who's been there and knows the players.
The irony of this is not lost on me in the way that Gruden came into the Raiders to establish a similar kind of mindset.
Yeah.
And they have a really good showing against the Chiefs. Obviously, they end up losing it. But then you come out here, and this has got to be a massive regression in mindset for them. Like, this is a disappointing way to show, that you're arriving or that you mean business or you're serious about your football this year. You come out and you put up 6 points. And Derek Carr, after we sung his praises...
Yeah.
Well,
He had a career night last week.
and now he's gone back. Well, not gone back, but he's had a terrible.
And now they're
day.
in, we said last week they might be the third best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
Now they're in serious danger of not even made the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's,
it's a massive loss.
You could probably write this game off as just a blip on the radar.
yeah, you probably could.
And I think if you see another performance like this in the back half of the season, you say, all right, maybe there's a bit too much happening here to just write it off as a blip. But we still like the Raiders.
Yeah,
You can have
absolutely.
your bad game. Every
Yeah,
team has their bad game.
I just think that for me, they would be disappointed, and obviously disappointed anytime you lose. But the manner of which you lose after earning so much credit the week before in a really hard-fought loss, you then end up coughing up 43 to the Falcons, who haven't been exactly world beaters this year, and you only put up 6 yourself. I think they'd be pretty flat on that.
Oh, they'll be flat.
They'd be flat as all heck. Another team that'd be flat would be another team that we put in the Elite 8 and then decides to lose. The Rams went down 20 to 23 here. The 49ers got Deebo Samuel back, which I was happy about.
Yeah,
One of my favourite
133
players
yards
getting
there,
around.
guys.
The second time this year that they've had 4 turnovers in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, so again, ball security.
They lost the game. The Niners didn't beat them.
No.
The Niners weren't the better team.
The Niners have got them on the double this year.
They have. They've beaten twice. And it's I just don't
With
understand.
all those injuries.
The Rams are just playing themselves out of it. Like if they win this game, they pretty much them and the Seahawks fight it out for
Yeah.
the win.
Yeah.
And the Rams have the head to head. So
Yeah.
I just can't believe it. The Rams have shot themselves in the foot here big time. They've almost not cost themselves their season, but they've shot themselves
Oh, massively.
big time.
That
The
division's
Niners
heating
here
up again.
are actually only a game away from the final wildcard
Yeah.
spot with all those injuries.
It's not going to happen.
It's just ridiculous,
It's not
though.
gonna
They shouldn't even be that close, though, should they?
They shouldn't.
They have no right.
They have no right to have won 5 games.
No. That speaks to
They've won more games than the entire NFC East best team,
Yeah.
and they're putting out half a team.
That speaks to great coaching.
Yeah, 100%.
That is the complete opposite of what we were talking about before. That speaks to a guy that understands what he's got in terms of player motivation, in terms of moving, what he can get on the field.
And then who changes the game style to suit the
Correct.
players that he's actually got
Correct.
to put on the field each week.
There's a theme that's coming about here with NFL coaches,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of these young coaches and young guys coming in, they are doing phenomenally.
Yeah.
You look at LaFleur in Green Bay.
Yep.
You look at McVay in the Rams.
Yep.
Who else have you
Shanahan.
got? Shanahan at
Shanahan.
Arizona, who's changing the game a bit as well.
No, that's
Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
He's
Sorry.
in Arizona.
Yes, sorry.
Shanahan's the one in
Vrabel down in
49ers.
Tennessee.
Yep. Rabel down at sea. You've got Bills. Oh, his name.
McDermott.
McDermott. You've got all of these young coaches coming in, and
The
they're
new
young
mold.
guys.
Yeah, I know what you
And
mean.
it's like
Brian Flores wouldn't even be that old either, and he's
No.
in his first job.
you've got a new wave of coaches coming through, and it seems to be working for some of them. And these old recycled coaches just sort of, they go through the motions. Offensive coordinator here, head coach, back to offensive coordinator. Maybe he's good enough again.
Yeah.
That sort of way seems sort of dead
Is there
in
a
the
bit
water.
of like social psychology a little, and stop me if I'm going a bit too deep dive on this, but you've got a new generation of kids coming into the NFL. Maybe this old school coaching method. Now, obviously, Andy Reid to
I was
me
gonna say.
is a massive blip, but he
Yeah.
does seem like he understands.
Andy Reid's one of
A
the
bit-
most intuitive and
Yeah.
creative play design coaches getting around, though, so he's very different.
So he's a bit
He's-
hybridized in that
yeah.
sense. But
It's
is that
these
just-
these young guys coming in are more
You
like
might have-
Andy Reid.
You might have hit the nail on
So
the
a
head here in a
disconnect
certain
there.
part, but I think there's a disconnect if you don't have the record that speaks for itself.
Okay, yeah.
So you've got your
So
Andy
the
Reids, you've
the
got your Mike
respect.
Tomlins, you've
Yeah.
got your Bill Belichick's,
Pete Carroll.
you've got your Pete Carroll, and then you've got old mate at the Saints.
Sean
Help me out here.
Payton.
Sean Payton. those 5 guys, they've got runs on the board.
Yep. Yeah.
And you guys aren't going to come in and challenge him.
No.
Yeah.
But if you're an
No,
older
nobody's going to sit there at a team
recycled
meeting
coach
worried about it.
that comes in and just doesn't have the runs on the board, you're a bit of an old guy. It's a bit of a disconnect from the players and the way the world might be working
What
for the
about
younger generation.
Mike McCarthy,
Yeah,
Like,
well, exactly.
Doug Peterson.
It's just
These kind of things at the moment. Yeah, I think we're pretty close there. I reckon. I think
We'd
we're
have to
pretty.
be.
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski's another one, first year in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Turn the whole thing around.
Yep. I like it, boys. Very good. Little session there on the tools, live on the air. It's good. Shooting from the hip. Broncos and the Saints. Let's crash back down to absolute mediocrity.
Let's not spend long.
We don't
on
need
it.
to spend long on this. We
No.
gave
We
the
gave that
Broncos
a plug in the first one.
all the
No,
credit they did.
no quarterbacks played in this game.
No.
Tight end and wide receiver played quarterback respectively for each side. The Saints
And it
came
was hard to
away
watch.
31-3. I will just clip Tampa on the way through here. The Broncos, without a quarterback, did score the same amount of points
They
that
did.
Tom Brady did when he went up against them. So there's something in that. But yeah, obviously the Saints did the job there. 31-3. They increased their record to 9-2. What, you like that? Did
You
you?
never miss a beat, Blake. Never miss a beat.
I think the thing
there.
to keep your eye on here is the Saints. They really need Drew Brees to come
Yeah,
back.
they do. Yeah.
Their running game, this is a stupid stat, and everyone's going to say, of course, it's great. You know. But this was in the first quarter of the whole season, the least passing yards, attempts, and I think total yards and completions in the first quarter of any game.
The Saints.
Yeah, in this game today.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm with you.
Because they had
Yeah.
2 quarterbacks who don't throw the ball.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was just an awful game to watch.
This is a game where they threw more interceptions than they had completed passes. The
Yeah.
Broncos. So
Yeah.
that's all you need to know about that game. If you want to watch the highlights for it, it's kind of funny.
Just Taysom Hill running
Don't
into the
bother.
end zone.
It's funny in
Yeah.
a sad kind of way. It's weird. The Bucks and Chiefs, probably the most electric first quarter I've watched. Certainly in
Yeah,
recent
it
memory.
was just ridiculous, wasn't it, Blaze?
It was actually a PI 5 take. It was just ridiculous. When Tyreek Hill was above 200 yards inside the first quarter.
203 yards in the quarter.
203 in a quarter. How many did you finish on the day?
269 and 3 scores, Blaze.
269. Nice.
And 1 incompleted backflip.
Yeah, you got about 3/4 of that backflip. Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is the MVP.
462, Blaze.
He is the MVP of this bloody football league.
Yeah,
I won't
it's
be hearing
just
anything
ridiculous.
I think we said it last week. We said that his MVP moment was him on that game-winning drive.
Yeah.
Up Travis Kelce. We were wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
It's probably the thing we were most wrong on all year because he's gone out this week.
and God,
On
460
that first
yards.
quarter, some of all of those passes were right on the money.
Yeah, he
like,
doesn't miss.
on the money.
He's got 2.
How is he?
Because some of them he's throwing into heavy coverage.
He's running backwards
Yeah.
and throwing the ball against his own momentum. Absolute dots, absolute darts all over the field. He had Watkins back, which I think helped a little bit.
Oh,
with the chain
massively
moving.
helps because it spaces everything out.
It does. And you could see that.
You can say Watkins isn't a good receiver. That's crap.
Yeah.
Because what he does off the ball is so dynamic and helps Hill and Kelsey get open.
You see
It's
the way
ridiculous.
Watkins and Kelsey interchange.
He spreads
in
the
middle.
field. He does what Ruggs
Yeah.
has been brought into
Yeah.
Oakland to do, which Hardman and Robinson don't do.
Yeah.
No,
as
Robinson.
well.
Oh, don't start.
We
with
don't.
Robinson.
Yeah, we don't have heaps of time for old DeMarcus,
Oh.
but this was an
He's
electric
painful,
start. The Tampa, to their credit, worked their way back into it, but the damage was done. And
Damage
it was
is done.
it
And
was-
especially if we didn't have that fumble just before half time, we would have been 24-0 in front.
yeah. It ended 27-24. Tom Brady fought his way back into it. He did have 3 touchdowns.
Junk time
now.
touchdown at the end.
yeah.
though.
We'll admit though, the Q was in the rack. From
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Jets.
100%.
But it's good to see that the Bucks got something out of that game.
Yeah.
And I think we gave him a bake at the start. But Bruce Arians, mate, have a look in the bloody mirror, mate.
Yeah, and maybe have a consider your defensive assignments. I'm not going to hang Carlton Davis out to dry here, who had to cover.
Oh
Tyreek
my
Hill.
God, he gets beat once. It's like, he'll be fine. Gets beat twice. Again?
Are you seriously going to?
Oh my
are you going to
God.
put that poor dude on an island against Tyreek Hill and just
Yeah.
watch him get burned over?
Do you reckon
he just
time
sits
and
there?
again?
Man coverage on Tyreek Hill is not a good idea for anybody wondering.
Oh, when you got
Yeah.
15 under center as well, mate.
Nah, yeah.
Far out.
His coverage was good.
Yeah,
The throw was just better, and the
Yeah.
other guy's quicker. He was starting 15 yards off Tyreek Hill and still getting run past.
The fact is, that play was lost not when it was just like 1v1 lined up.
Yeah.
It's just when Mahomes was like, the safety's not coming across.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm going to throw the ball down.
Yeah, sick.
Because it's either going to be a touchdown or it's going to be like an incompletion. It's not going to be intercepted because the safety wasn't coming.
I actually texted my old man when it was happening and I said, like, look, this is actually going bunter.
That's ridiculous.
This is going bunter at the moment. It was ridiculous. It was so much fun. But hey,
It was a good time.
it was fantastic. I could talk about it all day. The Packers and the Bears, 41-25.
No, this was not fun.
No, this wasn't
No.
fun. This was a Oh, I was going to go a different way there. An absolute bollocking.
Absolute bollocking.
41-25. Aaron Rodgers has come out and said he loves playing the Bears, and why the heck wouldn't he? He just does whatever he wants. 220 odd yards and 4 tubs, I think. Chucking
Yeah.
me?
He in this game, Blaze, he got his 50th touchdown thrown against the Bears,
Yeah.
which is massive. All time,
50.
the Bears quarterback that's thrown the most touchdowns against the Packers has 14.
Jesus.
14.
Is that Jay?
No, it wasn't even Jay. It was some guy from like the 50s. Jay had like 9.
Jeez.
So yeah, it was 14, and then Rodgers has 50,
Yeah.
and Favre has 53.
That's just.
If you add up the 4 best Bears quarterbacks of all time and add their touchdowns thrown against Green Bay, it gets to 48.
We touched on this. Blaze and I touched on this earlier when we were chatting before. It's like the Bears have only had like 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks
Yeah.
in the last like 40 years.
The Bears are the
and one of them was
Packers
Trubisky.
one of
whipping
them was
boys.
the biscuit.
Yeah. I just don't know what to think. So the Bears gone out there. They're a defensive side, and they've given up 41 points. They were missing
It's over.
Hakeem Hicks,
Yeah.
who I think is a more
You
important.
like him, don't you?
He's a more important player than Khalil Mack to that defense.
Yeah, okay.
That's a massive goal.
They were just running Aaron Jones through that hole where he normally is on the right-hand side of the formation.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And the other point for the Bears here that I really want to crack into Matt Nagy, the coach.
He's
the
getting
head
one
coach.
too. Yeah, good.
Mate. So he was the offensive coordinator in the Chiefs in
was.
2017. The Chiefs went 10-6 that year, having a pretty good season.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Happy days.
Offensive coach.
Yeah.
You're an offensive mastermind, supposedly. You're supposed to be this offensive genius.
Massive air quotes on that, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's come from an offensive team.
Yeah, no.
He's not come from a
I'm not
defensive
downplaying
scheme.
you. I'm just saying. Yeah.
And now he's look at their offense.
It
The
is.
Bears.
It is a joke.
You're an offensive head coach, and you can't even get your offense to play.
No.
He is another one that's in the kiln.
Yeah. Killed his
The
full.
thermostat is right up on this
See
kiln.
the kiln.
We've got multiple coaches.
It's
burning.
crowded in the kiln.
I love pottery.
Oh,
I don't even like pottery.
No, that was a weird.
But
thing
like
to
Matt
say.
Nagy, like
Yeah,
mate.
He's dodged criticism on the back of that defense for far too long.
On his defense, that was a Vic Fangio defense as well.
Yeah.
In 2018, when they had that great year, they got Khalil Mack in, riding the hype of Khalil Mack and everything that he brought to the team. Had a 10-6 record, lost in the first round of the playoffs. But that was Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
He goes to Denver. The defense goes a bit to water. Their offense has gone even more to water.
Yeah. Liquid.
Yeah. Well, it's not even liquid, man. It's like liquid nitrogen now. It's just evaporated.
It's like
not good.
It's vapor.
Christ.
Vaporized.
It is honestly like.
This has been a weird show.
Yeah,
This has been a very weird show.
I like it though. It's a bit funky.
Oh, jeez.
Speaking of funky, the Philadelphia Eagles.
They are funky.
But Matt Nagy.
Yeah, watch out because honestly, you cannot continue to dish up that kind of. This is been going on for weeks, and they got that hot start, and they had all the bear rage.
They've lost their last 6 games.
Yeah, they are trash.
It was hilarious. At the start of the year, when we're like, all these bear rage, not going to happen.
No.
The front office, after week 5, ordered more champagne.
They thought we're going all right here.
Haven't used it since.
Nah. And use it to drown your sorrows.
Yeah.
The Eagles are just
Crap.
funky
crap.
For lack of a better word, they just stink. And the Seahawks got over the line here, 23-17. It was probably closer than the scoreboard is probably closer in the game.
Yeah.
Actually felt watching it.
It's
That's
because
for
Seattle
sure.
just kept going for it on 4th down because they just thought Philly was so crap.
Yeah, it was
It's like, it's worth a try.
it was a disrespectful stage.
Philly
Yeah.
scored a touchdown in the final 2 minutes as
Yeah.
well. That was just...
Yeah.
just
Wilson only had
bit of junk.
230 yards and DK had 177 receiving.
Yeah.
So he almost had all of it.
DK's a monster.
It's just
eh?
ridiculous.
There's
yeah.
that play where the defender came down from the secondary to try and block, to try and stop him, and he ended up bouncing off the other way. Hit
it
him.
doesn't surprise me.
It was just. It was like he ran into a brick wall.
He's a bad dude.
They
He is
were
a bad man.
comparing him to Megatron,
Yeah.
the reincarnation of Megatron. He
Well,
could be better.
Apparently,
I wouldn't want to
apparently
stand
the
him.
defensive coordinator, which I think is one of the old Lions coaches, he apparently said to him before the game was, "You're not as good as Megatron," and then he went out and did that.
Yeah.
So
I think he rehashed his statement to say
Yeah.
that.
Jim Schwartz, that's who it
Yeah.
was. Jim Schwartz.
I would not want to be.
Jim Schwartz. Yeah, me either.
Oh well, not Jim Schwartz necessarily, but a cornerback.
Just wrapping up early over here.
Yeah, he's giving me the old how you going. Yeah. So with that said, I guess Carson Wentz. If we're gonna.
He's thrown his 15th pick of the season.
Yeah.
He's leading
Yeah.
the NFL in interceptions.
Yep.
And Jameis is unhappy that he's not starting this year.
How about
because
this? Jersey
of competition.
Cartel, your mate the Full God, a measly 17 yards today.
Ah.
He's done nothing since that game.
Nothing.
That one game. He's played
Nothing.
one game.
The Full God is toasty, and his quarterback is shite. And Doug Peterson,
Shite.
his play calling and his match awareness defies belief to the point where he must be that old and senile, he's probably got dementia. In all honesty, he probably does. If you go for another 4th and 3rd and bring in Jalen Hurts, like, whoa, what are we going to do? And then just run Jalen Hurts up the middle and get stuffed again, I'm going to lose my marbles.
2 minutes episode, Blaze. Good God, you
Oh,
are flustered.
This is so funky.
The Philly special, Doug. I mean, that was fantastic, but that is so long ago.
Put it away, Doug.
Jalen Hurts, and if you want him to do 4th and 3rd, I recommend you give him 1st and 10 because at this point, Carson Wentz can't do diddly squat.
Carson Wentz needs to be put in cotton wool, wrapped up at the end of the year, and sent to rehab. His confidence is gone.
Yeah.
He is a shell of himself, a shell of the player Sam once knew. He is just looks in pieces, in tatters, almost looks like he's a broken man out there.
Absolutely.
It's ugly to watch,
And
no doubt.
he's almost sad.
Yeah.
It's sad now. The team hasn't supported him. He doesn't have the players. They've got injuries, doesn't have the talent. And it's just,
Stuff him.
yeah.
Yeah, stuff him. Stuff the NFC East. Who cares?
Stuff this show. Wrap it up.
Yeah, why not?
Got this far. Well done.
Why not? The socials, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm going to do this super quick because Sam likes to get my case about how long it takes.
Yeah.
Oh, so just take more
This
time.
is just adding
telling
time,
us.
though.
Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Slim Sam and the Bandwagon fan for all your social needs there. Anywhere you get your podcasts, including obviously YouTube if you're watching us now. Follow, subscribe, it's 5 stars. Whatever your persuasion is there will help us out.
Why are you slowing down?
Why are you shaking your head?
Huh?
Why are you shaking
I
your
wasn't.
head?
I was shaking my leg.
Why?
He did legs at gym.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. With all that said and done, and if you've enjoyed us, make sure you let us know.
Just show us some love however you want to show us love.
Yeah, because we have obviously
Slam it.
come this far carrying on.
He's
so.
been slim. I've been slim. That's the Bandwagon fan. Good night.